Hello everyone. In this video we'll see how to use Python and Flask. So Flask is a famous and widely used REST API framework in the Python, right? So if you want to install, you just need to say pip install Flask. Okay. So now first let me import few of the packages from Flask. Import Flask request. You'll understand why we are importing it. I'm importing a JSON. We actually discussed what is JSON in our previous video, right? It's a JavaScript object notation. It actually looks like, it not looks like a dictionary, it's a dictionary actually, right? So I'm creating an object called app. I'm just saying Flask, which we just imported here, and in that I'm just saying underscore name. We'll discuss what is this underscore name in some time. Now this my app is an object, right? It's a Flask object. So now what I'm doing is, first we'll try to create a simple hello function. What it does is it will take a data and it will return some value. It's like hello plus maybe some name that takes dynamically some value, let's say. So where I'm getting this value, so this we assume, right? So whenever I'm just running this function, right? Maybe I'll say response equal to hello, or I'm just passing as Teja, right? If you see the response here, if I print the response, it will be hello Teja. Now this function, so obviously this is a Python function, right? Only Python can understand this, right? So let's say if I want to reuse this function in another Python program, I can simply save this Python code, this rest.py Python code, and I can import this Python code in another Python program, right? But let's say if this function want to be used by some other, some other application, like maybe a Java application, maybe as discussed web applications or whatnot, right? Then as we discussed, this function should be exposed as an REST API. Clear? So now what I'm doing is we created a Flask object called app, right? So I'm saying at the rate of app, I'm saying route this function to maybe hello world. You'll understand. We'll try to deploy this and we'll see how it works, right? And we discuss few of the REST methods, right? Or HTTP methods: post, get, put, delete, right? So I'm saying this supports get, right? Now I'm saying, hey boss, this hello world function will be available in this particular URL and it supports a get method. Clear? So now we don't need this parameter. We'll get the data from a REST API, right? All our request will be in the request request, which we just imported here, right? Request dot my arguments. All right. So now in my request, we'll just try to print the request first. Okay. We'll just pass only hello back. Okay. Now obviously we need to say this is the main function, right? So if underscore name, in case if it is a main, then I'm saying this app, the object which we just created, just run it. So we'll say debug equal to true, so that whatever we are printing and what are the detailed errors we can see in the console, right? I'm just going to the folder where my code is saved. Ust rest, this one, right? So let me open a command prompt here. I just need to run this, the python rest.py. Yeah, so it just started. It says, so my service is running on this URL. So this is my IP address, which is my local host, and this is the port where my REST API is running, right? So now localhost, let me close all the unwanted localhost, and 5000 my REST API is running. So I'm just running it. We'll see what we get. Obviously no, you found, right? So I mean, in this URL our services are running, but if you see hello world service in that particular URL and 5000 port, this is the place where exactly it is running, right? So now let me also close this. Oh, sorry. Can you see hello? This is what we are printing here, right? We're just returning it back. So my browser is catching it and printing it there. So now if you see here, we are just printing the request. There's nothing, right? We are not passing any request. We just hit the URL. That's it. Now we'll try to pass some data, right? So to pass the data in get, I'll say question mark name is equal to maybe Teja. See, we are not handling any request which we are passing, right? So whatever we're passing, we're just printing hello. Now if you see here, see, it's an immutable tick. So it says boss, the name is my key and my Teja is my value. Like that you can pass multiple, parameters, maybe age equal to 29. It is still running. I don't know, it usually won't take this much time. Yeah, so I'm just passing name and age, so you can see here it got printed, right? So now we'll try to get the name and we'll say, so what are the name we pass, we'll just try to send the response like hello the name, right? So we know obviously it's a dictionary, right? So this is an immutable dictionary. So what we'll do is I'll just try to convert it to dict. Maybe, yeah, let's arq equal to arq dot to dict, right? And we know how to deal with the dictionaries, right? So I'll say plus request colon name, and of course whenever I'm passing a value, I have to send name, right? I cannot change it, right? So I cannot say name 1, name 2, right? Because obviously we are referring to it as a name, right? So it will fail. So let's save it, and yeah, it's automatically restarting as soon as we saved. Now let me run this. Can you see hello Teja? See, I'm not dealing with the age, that's why it's not printing here, right? So okay, so now we'll talk about the post method, how the post works. So in the same program, so we'll say add that route, maybe we'll do a simple addition, comma methods is equal to post, and I'll say let me def add, sorry, yeah, enter. Now we know what to do. So I'm saying req is equal to, I'm just getting the request, so See, this is argument. So whatever we're passing in a URL, it's a data, but it's an arguments, right? So in terms of get. So, but the post is little bit different. So we'll call it re request dot data, right? So now we'll try to print req. We'll see how it looks like first, right? And for now I'll just return some data. Sorry. Yeah, it's restarting. So add post, right? We'll just try to open this. Can you see? So it didn't say that URL is not available. It said method is not allowed, because post method is not allowed in the URL. You cannot, simply run like what we did it for the get. So we have to test it. We have to use some tools, like we have SOAP UI. So another famous one is Postman, right? So I'm just creating a new one here. So here I need to select the post, right? And I need to paste this URL here, go to the body. So I just say raw. Here I need to send the request. So let's say if I say value A is 1, I'm just sending some value. We are not handling it anyway, right? I just send it. We got hello, because what are the value we send? We are sending a hot coded value back, and we are just trying to print the value, right? Yeah. Did you see this? This took as a binary, right? A value is 1. So in the REST world, right? So when you want to send a request or get a response, so as I told you, JSON is a dictionary at the end, technically, right? So in the REST, the request and response, either it should be a string, number, or decimal, not any other format, right? So this is a dictionary, right? So this one, but when it is sending a request to my service, right? So it will send us a string. So we need to convert it back to as a a dictionary, right? So for that we have an option called print json dot loads. We are loading it back to our original format. Let's see if it's okay. Let me restart. Yeah, it's restarting. Now when I run this, can you see the difference between the previous print and now here, right? Because we are converting back to a dictionary, right, using json.loads. Now we know obviously the addition, right? So req of a, the value which I am passing, and we'll also try to send b, right? Let's save this. So in the postman we'll say comma, the value of b is 3. Now let's see if it works. I'm not sure. Okay, looks like it's not restarted properly. Yeah, now let me run again. Oh, we got some error. Nice. We got the proper data. REQ of A. Maybe I'm just trying to convert it to a string and passing it. It restarted. Yeah, it worked. So now let's say if I say 6, yeah, we'll see why it didn't work. Maybe what I'll do is I'll say C equal to, let me pass it as a C. It's restarting. Now it's running. Yeah, it worked. Now, not sure if we can send an integer, but usually we'll be able to send the integer. Maybe I'll check and I'll update the description. Yeah, it worked. Now, right, so obviously, right, with this URL I can share this URL to anyone, right? So whoever wants to use it, they can simply use it, right? So it can be a Java or .NET, any other programming language, it can be any other CRM ERP tools, right? So now the another important thing which I want to tell you is, if you see the difference between the get and the post, right? In the get, in the URL itself we are passing the data, right? Let's say if it's some kind of confidential information, right, obviously I cannot use get, right? So we go for post, right? So I think you guys enjoyed this video, right? So obviously in next video will be quite interesting. What we'll do is, so we already built a linear regression model, right? So we'll try to deploy it using a REST service. Obviously we'll use post method, right? And we'll see how it works. So till then, so enjoy, stay tuned.